Hi, I'm Andy. I've always had a particular sense of humour. I also used to have a girlfriend who I guess wasn't compatible with my sense of humour. Let me tell you how I found out. So my girlfriend invited me to dinner with her and her parents. Blimey, I'd never met them and I got pretty nervous. You know, that milestone that any man prefers to see far ahead. But alas, I knew it must be done. I met them nicely, I should tell you, and it started off in a good way. Then the idea slapped my mind that I should do some comedy to make a good impression and amuse them a little, as they seemed deadly serious. So naive I was. When I saw they were gonna serve baked potatoes, I decided to pretend I didn't know what potatoes were. That would be hilarious, I thought. It was, in a certain way, but it also backfired on me. So first, when they served a potato on my plate, I acted really strange. I gave out an impressive mixture of curiosity, confusion, astonishment, and interest on my face. They noticed it and seemed confused, but didn't ask me anything. So I launched my idiotic prank. "This looks very interesting. What is this?" They stared at me, and the mother said, "It's a baked potato." "Oh, interesting. A baked... what is it again?" "A potato." "A potato? Oh, interesting. Never heard of a potato. Looks pretty good." Unbelievably, they didn't see I was clowning. This was the moment I started to suspect they have literally no sense of humor. I knew it would be a humiliating, epic fail if I admitted to making a joke. So I decided to act naturally till the very end. They asked me, very incredulous, if I really had never eaten a potato. I sigh and tell them yes. Not only have I never eaten a potato, but I also have never even heard of the word potato. This went on for a bit. The more I insisted, the more they started to suspect I was goofing them. I had to commit 100% at this point. At one point, her annoyed father said something like, "Enough is enough. You're kidding us. Admit it." And I said, "Sir, before today, I never heard of a potato. I still don't know what a potato is, other than some kind of food. I don't know what to tell you." He started getting red with anger. The last straw came when I decided to take a bite of the potato. And when I did, I made a high-pitched noise and said, "Tastes very strange." And that is when the father started yelling at me and the mother kept saying, "What are you doing?" And my girlfriend went to some other room. Finally, the father said I should get out. And I said it was irrational to treat me like this, just because I never heard of a potato before. After that, I left with dignity. What I thought was that people with no sense of humour bore me a lot, and that I needed to break up with my girlfriend. When I came home, I told everything to my father, and who thank God is an old prankster. Even worse than me. He was laughing his head off, as he told me how to round up the story with my girlfriend in a hilarious way. But it was a surprise. So I texted her, and said I was sorry for what happened, and that I was inviting her to my place for dinner with my parents to apologise. I never mentioned it had been a joke though. So she comes to my house, greeted by my parents, and it all starts off very nicely. Everyone's chatting and she's relaxed. The potato story doesn't come out at all. But at one point, while we're clearing the table, my dad calls her aside and asks if potatoes were served at her parents' dinner. When she admits it, he looks alarmed and says, "That's bad. I've always tried to keep Andy away from those creeps." Then he makes an enigmatic face and walks away without going deep into detail. You should have seen her. If she were a less polite person, she would leave immediately, but she remained until the end of dessert, petrified, and looking as if she was at Ted Bundy's house for dinner. She finished her ice cream and she was out in a couple of minutes. Me and my parents were roaring with laughter. I never heard from her since. It could be a sad story if I wasn't deeply convinced you can have many girlfriends, but only one sense of humour. So it's easier to change girlfriend than to try and pretend to be a person you're not. Guys, I hope you liked my story, and maybe even learned a couple things. I thank this channel for letting me share it with you. Please subscribe and share this video to let everyone know how useful a prank may be.